Hi, my name is Dominic Sandbrook, and I feel surprisingly aroused about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
You understand that. Hi, my name is Tom Holland, and I feel chuffed about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Okay, looking that up now on UK slang. Hey there, welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Shocking revelation today. Sona Movsesian is not with us. Her chair, like Tiny Tim's little stool in the corner, is empty. Just a crutch. She's not here.
No.
Instead, it's just Matt and I, which is nice because this is a different dynamic for us. There's none of that, her braying laugh.
Yeah. She's a nice icebreaker, though, because isn't it a little awkward? It's just you and me, you know?
Reminds me of an old Norm Macdonald joke. He said, I went home for Thanksgiving and saw the family, and my dad and I accidentally made eye contact. And I thought, God damn it, I relate to that. So now we have to look in each other's eyes.
No,
you can't do it?
No, I can't do that. I can't do that. But do you know where Sona is?
I don't. No one told me where she went.
You're going to love this.
Okay.
She is speaking, I think a featured guest speaker at an assistance convention.
No, she's not. Is that a bit?
I swear to God.
This is not a bit.
This is true. Yeah.
I
can just see your eyes
I'm sorry,
glowing.
Is it a how-to or like a cautionary tale?
I don't
know what I mean?
No, I think she is,
Is it a scared straight? She turns the chair around backwards and sits down. Look, guys, if you want to be an assistant, don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So she's telling people how to be an assistant.
Ostensibly, I don't know if it's a Q&A or she's doing a speech about it, but
It could be a trial.
War crimes. Maybe it's an entrapment. That's
She's
why
like
they got her there.
Eichmann. She's in a glass booth. She's wearing headphones. People are coming up and testifying against her.
We may never see her again.
No, we're not going to see her because I know what the verdict's going to be. Wow, that's incredible.
She also found out recently, before going to this, that it's for a bunch of tech company assistants.
Yeah.
So it's not even like industry, entertainment
Right.
assistants. This is specifically tech.
Oh, this is a disaster. I mean, I wish we could find out where it is and quickly drive over there in a van.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love let's find out when she's back. Remind me. We have to dig down deep on what happened.
We'll do a whole segment on it.
Yeah,
we got to find
because
out more.
It's just astounding to me. But, we love our Sona. We do miss her.
We do. Rest
but-
in peace.
Yeah, well, no, please,
What?
she's fine.
Oh.
You always go right to rest in
Well,
peace.
I
Well,
know.
that was a good meal. Yep, rest in peace. No. How are you?
Oh,
This is a chance for us to really drill down. How are you, Matt Gourley, as a person? How's your life?
It's good.
Look at me. I'm right here.
No, I can't.
Look me in the eye.
I can't do it.
Look at me.
Right past you.
Oh, wow.
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
But wow, you didn't say anything, and then you put it right back on me. How am I going to find out about you?
What do you want to know? I'm an open book.
You aren't. You aren't an open book. How are things at home? How's everything going?
Good. My daughter's cracking me up daily.
How old is she now?
She's going to be 4 by the time this comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, this doesn't air for 3 years. So that's great.
Yeah.
Is she funny?
She's really funny.
Yeah.
She's a character, man. She rules the house. She's a beta to the rest of the world, but it's just a horrible alpha to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Is it?
They're like lovely to other people, and then they come home and they're absolute Mussolinis.
You're not kidding.
Yeah.
Even when it comes down to play, she gives me my lines for when we're playing.
Oh, yeah.
She dictates them to me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're miserable at home.
I'm having some struggles.
Well, feel free to, talk to me anytime about anything that's going on in your life.
I'd rather not.
I'd rather you didn't either.
Okay. All right.
You know what you should do? Schedule it with David Hopping.
Okay.
Now, there's an assistant.
I could talk to him.
You know who's not going to go to an assistance convention is David Hopping.
Yeah.
How
are you?
I got to ask David.
Okay.
David keeps my schedule and he tells me how I am. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Oh.
And I am going to head east to New York very shortly to help. This is a new experience for me. Promote a film that
I know
in.
this is exciting.
Yeah, and this is a new thing for me to say. You got to go check out my picture. See, I mean, that's nothing I've aspired to or ever thought would happen.
You should come on this podcast.
I should come on this podcast. We should take. You know what we should do? We should tape me talking and asking questions, and then switch it around, and I'll do the other side.
It's a good idea, actually.
No,
do a video
What do you mean?
promo.
Actually, it's an idea that I said.
No,
which
I really-
by definition is a good idea.
It's an idea
Nice
that
tune.
I said.
Nice tune, Mozart. Not necessary. Not necessary. God, what a prick. I don't know why anybody talks to me.
So,
Oh,
this
right.
is why I'm trying to get out of
You're
it.
being paid.
No, I do like talking to you, and I can look you in the eye, and
Good.
I am happy.
Well, you're blinking in Morse code. Please save me. Yeah, so that's my story. I'm in the pictures.
Let's end this. We should get to this because this is a really fun.
Nah.
No, okay.
Okay.
I want out.
Gentlemen, I'm going to begin by saying that it is quite a come down for me to have you on the podcast, and I'll explain why. I have a very large ego, and for a while I believed that I had the greatest podcast in the world. I really did. I really thought I cannot be touched. No one can come close. And then one day, several years ago, I heard someone mention this podcast called The Rest is History. And I'm a history buff. I listened to one episode. I listened to two. I listened to 3 and 4. I've now listened to possibly 300 or 400 of your 800. I'm working my way through. And I have to concede that you have the greatest podcast.
Oh, that's gracious.
You will always have the greatest podcast.
I'm loving this podcast.
There is,
come again.
I am an addict. I'm here to confess my addiction, and you're in my ears all the time. And whenever people ask me what podcast do you listen to, I don't give them a list. I say it's The Rest is History with Tom and Dominic, and I was starstruck when I heard your voices, and I was in the room upstairs in my Larchmont. This is a palace, really.
Yeah.
I heard your voices. I couldn't believe that you were here. So not since I met George Harrison back at Saturday Night Live back in the day have I been this excited.
Whoa.
And you met Paul McCartney.
I've met Paul McCartney.
But we're more exciting.
Yeah, you guys are, no. I'm going to put you on the same level.
Okay, we'll take
You're on
it.
the same level. So gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Really.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
for having
thanks
us.
so much for having
That's all the
us.
time we have. It's been lovely having
It's fine.
you.
You've said enough for us.
Yeah.
Let's end it there. It's not going to get better. I love history, and my favorite thing about your show is that the history is brilliant, and I feel it's very well researched, and you're both very knowledgeable, but it's funny. And I'm a big believer in keeping two opposing ideas in your head at the same time. You guys will talk about some of the grimmest things in the history of the world, like World War I, but there'll be sections where you can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing with you. And I love that because both things are true. World War I might be the worst thing that ever happened to humanity. It's absolutely terrible, and a war that was fought for no reason. And then I will find myself, you two will get talking about the Kaiser and what a ridiculous man the Kaiser was.
Right. Yeah.
And I will be crying. I'm laughing so hard along with you. Is humor the way into this? Or was it the way into your love of history?
No, actually. So the story is the way in for me. Anyway.
Did you just disagree with me?
I did. Yeah. I just want to set out the stall
let
right
me explain
away.
where you are right now.
Right.
You're in America.
No.
Former colony.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
you've actually got 250 years of back taxes to pay, Conan.
Oh, yes.
Come on, you knew that was coming.
I knew it was coming.
I think the story is the way in, always, and the characters, but the humor emerges naturally. So we don't
Yes.
we don't try to impose the humor on the story.
No.
But you're doing the Kaiser, who's a ridiculous man who's coming up with all these mad schemes to invade places and whatnot, and is basically smoldering with fury because he thinks his British relatives despise him. And that's what drives him. And you've got all these generals with gigantic moustaches and they've all got emphysema.
Yes.
And all of that. that's true to the history. It's not us imposing it on it.
Yes.
And if you can blind yourself to that and say, no, history's terribly serious and very desiccated, but the humor is part of the human condition.
I think that there's a case for seeing the whole sweep of human history as a very dark comedy.
Yeah.
Because history essentially is the record of people not getting what they want, people overinflating their own sense of worth. And so there is a kind of inherent strain of comedy that runs throughout almost every period of history that you look at. And I guess that even the very darkest episodes, it's a comedy in the sense that Dante wrote the Divine Comedy.
Yeah.
It's the sense that sometimes you have to laugh so that you don't weep.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I think to me, reference one of my favorite British comedies of all time, Blackadder.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sense of so much of the humor from Blackadder and also from the Python films was just bring out your dead in Holy Grail, and so much of the comedy in Life of Brian is, and I think the British are uniquely very good at doing this, is seeing the dark and the absurdly comical at the exact same moment.
Yeah.
And holding both molecules together as they bounce off each other.
Yeah, people are funny, right?
Yeah.
Human beings behave ridiculously.
Many aren't, by the way.
Well,
and I have footage to prove it.
But often the people who take themselves incredibly seriously are the funniest.
Yes.
And history is, the great figures of history invariably take themselves very, very seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your obsessions. You are obsessed with facial hair. And you will...
Yes.
Is that unusual? Who isn't?
No, and what I love is you'll talk about, again, I'll go back to the World War I example, but this goes throughout your entire podcast. Any subject you take up, if someone has absurd facial hair, you two start cackling.
Yeah.
And most of the generals you introduce, Russian, British, French, anyone from Austria-Hungary, you are, Serbia, Croatia, you're saying, oh my God, on this next one, this beard is greater than the previous beards.
I mean, now you mention it, I'm thinking, actually, the Americans... They have very poor moustache action in this, don't they? So we've got a bit of a wait for the Americans to arrive.
They tend
late for a world war.
They peaked too early though. No, the Civil War they've got that
Civil War
side
brilliant at beards.
Civil War we had great beards.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and listen to you run our beards down.
Right.
No, we are huge admirers of
Civil War,
century,
19th century Civil War beards.
Yeah.
I mean, insane. Our Secretary of War, Stanton, had an insane beard. Several men were living in it.
And your current Secretary of State for War, which I gather is now what it's called.
Yes,
he's banning facial hair.
Yes.
Does he not know his history?
Pete Hegseth said, "I won't have." There'll be no beards. There'll be no individuation. There'll be no. And he said, "We won't have any hippies.
No.
Cut your hair, shave your beard." And we know he's a true patriot because he wears an American flag tie, which is what every true patriot does.
Yeah, of course.
And he went after anyone wearing beards, and I had the same thought, which is, excuse me, some of our greatest generals had incredible beards back in the day.
They did.
And they did not affect their fighting ability at all.
And if you're Custer, very long hair.
Yes. Long golden locks.
Yeah.
They were thinning though, weren't they?
When he got scalped, he was
what went
wrong.
Yes.
He was trying to compensate for his loss of virility.
Yes. Do you think that because Custer was losing his hair, he felt, I need to attack this village that's 100 times larger than my fighting
but
company?
Also, I mean, imagine the surprise of the brave who scalped him.
Disappointment.
Huge.
Disappointment.
Because they called him.
They called him
long hair.
They called him
here's long hair. Oh my God.
My God, he's losing it.
He looks like Larry David.
Yeah. He had Larry David should play Custer in that final battle. And when 100,000 hostile natives come over the hill, he should frown, and you hear whump whump whump.
Because he loves the Civil War, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
There's the famous photo of him with his daughter.
Yes,
looking
at a cannon at Gettysburg.
Now and then you will get. I'll be listening to you, and we're on Custer now, so. This is a good example. I'm listening to your long multi-episodes about the
who is this Custer? What's happening? How did this whole thing come about? How do we get to this battle? The pre-story, and beautifully told. And then you're talking about one of the people who's fighting alongside Custer, underneath him, Benteen.
Oh, yeah.
And
Benteen.
you
Yes.
two, you despise Benteen.
No, Benteen's a great man.
No,
I thought you hated Benteen.
No,
no, he's very like Dominic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I hated him, so by
Right.
extension, I hate you.
So opinions
I'll
on
take
that
it.
may
I
differ.
now hate, this is sad, I now hate Dominic.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a fan of Benteen.
Because
What about you?
What was it? Well, I obviously respect and
it was
up
beneath,
to a
the
point.
line was, I
Right.
read it out on the podcast, the line from the book, it said, beneath his chubby-cheeked cordiality lurked cold and sinister intelligence.
That's you.
Yeah, and I
That's
read that
you.
out to Tom, and Tom said, that's not you. And then I was
And then
so
your
offended
wife
by
said
that.
it, didn't
I read it to my wife, and she said, you're literally describing yourself.
Right. So of the villain, one of the villains, or as history has often miscast him.
No, he's not a villain. He's a great man.
Please, I'm saying as history has miscast him,
Yeah.
he's often been seen as the villain of the battle. But you say, no, this man's
Right.
terrific. I like the cut of his jib.
I do like the cuts of his jib. So initially he lets himself down a bit, doesn't he, by being difficult and not helping Custer.
Right.
But then at the end, when they're trapped on the hill with Major Reno,
Major Reno, who's in a massive funk.
who's sobbing and like has to be trussed up like a hog.
Like a hog.
You know, I will say I had sympathy for Reno, and if anyone's lost at this point, we're talking about the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Everybody's lost at this point.
And please, this is my podcast, and these are the only two people left in the world that I really want to talk to, and I'm taking this ship down right now. But one of the reasons I sympathize with Reno is I think if I'm ever in a difficult situation, a life and death situation, I will lose my nerve and I will have to be trussed up like a hog by my
Right,
friends
right.
to keep myself from hurting myself.
Yeah. Yeah. This is when you compared Reno to yourself. Do you remember?
Yeah, I said I would run away.
Yeah. You said you compared him to yourself at our live shows.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Tom has to be trussed up like a hog before our live shows because he's gibbering with nerves. Whereas I, having behaved poorly all day,
Yes.
But
then
your cool
come
calculating
yeah.
intelligence kicks
Yes.
in.
then come into my own.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, so first of all, I think I'm more in the Tom camp.
Right.
I will be gibbering.
Right.
It's a word I love.
Were you gibbering before your shows, before your talk shows?
I gibber all day long.
Okay.
I don't think you
You
understand.
were gibbering during them.
I
but
speak
wasn't.
in tongues. I have whatever Irish disease we have where we speak mostly in babble.
Okay.
That's me all day long.
Yeah.
And then they occasionally record it and we seem to be able to sell ads.
Okay.
That's what's happened.
Yeah.
I love the podcast by only, I'm going to say my only problem is occasionally you two, and I understand why you're doing it. You're very proudly British. You will throw out the name of some minor member of parliament in the late 80s or early 90s, and you'll both start cackling about Cecil Biddlebarter, and you'll be giggling, and I will be driving my car, and I will turn it into the nearest tree, killing myself.
Right.
I've been reincarnated many times. Yeah,
From boredom.
No, just rage that you two are having so much fun about Cecil Beetlebarter, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So he will have very thick glasses.
Yeah.
He'll have a kind of silvery hair.
Yep.
And he'll have dandruff.
Massive dandruff.
He'll have a pinstripe suit.
Yeah.
He'll look an utterly unmemorable figure.
Yes.
He'll be-
But he will have been insanely brave during the Second World War and taken out 3 German tanks.
That's so that you
and
love-
taken the MC.
I see. Got
and
it,
it's
got
the
it.
contrast between them.
And then he'll be caught in a flat.
Wearing stockings.
Wearing stockings, yeah. With a black bin liner and an orange in his mouth or something like that.
Okay, I have to ask how you two met, because the chemistry between the two of you is perfection, and I that's a big magic of the show. And I'm curious, how did these two guys come into each other's orbit?
We were thinking of lying about this.
Yeah,
weren't
because
we?
So actually on the way in, Tabby, our producer, said you need to make up a new origin story because it's not very good. So
We can. I'm happy with a lie if it's a good one.
No, it's not a good one. We haven't had time to think of one because we're not very imaginative.
Do you want me to think of one for you?
Well,
Yeah.
we'll tell you
You're
the
in
truth.
combat
Okay,
together
yeah.
in the Grenada. You're in Grenada, I'm
Yeah.
guessing, right?
Grenada. And like when the Americans invaded.
Yeah. but
No,
we're
we're fighting the Americans.
Yeah, surely
on behalf
we'd be
of the
fighting-
Commonwealth.
On behalf of the Commonwealth, yeah.
Okay.
Because you
So
disgraced
you pay- I
yourselves
mean,
invading
I'm-
Grenada.
What's
you
that?
let yourselves down invading Grenada.
How did we let ourselves down?
Because it's a British
colony.
Yeah, it's a British
Well,
colony.
you needed a little help.
I don't know.
But this is good. This
Anyway,
is going
listen,
very
we
badly.
didn't
I'm
meet in
sorry.
combat.
I'm sick of. I mean, we've helped you out a few times, I believe.
Late.
Right.
we show up late. Yes, we
I know,
showed
you-
up late
you
in
come
World
in
War
late, but
One.
you
We
come in
showed up late
hard.
in World War Two.
Yeah.
But that's the way we are. We like to show up late, and I like to arrive late at a party because people notice me more. It's my ego, and I think that's what Americans love to do historically: is show
Right.
up when the tide has almost turned. It's
Yeah.
almost too late,
Yeah.
and then we supply you with tons of mediocre equipment, but lots of it.
Yeah. And of course, the trouble with the World War One is we were both on the wrong side. So we should have joined with the Germans.
To have a crack at the French.
You smash the French once and for all.
Now, let's talk about this, Dominic. You are so through and through a British citizen. You loathe the French, and you're always going after them on the podcast.
Yeah.
And
I actually lived in France. I speak French.
Listen, I'm very impressed with. I love that you took the time to learn the language of
the
a people
enemy.
you
Yeah.
despise.
Right, of the enemy.
So
You don't know
that
your enemy.
you
What
could
can
be
I say?
passive aggressive to them in their own tongue.
Yeah.
Did you grow up? Or, is this just you playing a part, or is there real animosity there
I
towards
think
the
probably
French?
initially playing a part, but it's entered. I've forgotten who I am, and it's entered.
The mask has blended into your flesh.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Beautiful.
So. Tom,
Beautiful.
you like the French, though, don't you?
I do like the French.
You don't have any when that whole period when Napoleon's trying to destroy the English islands. You're okay with that?
I
You let
like
it go?
them because I think they're the coolest of enemies. They are a very, very classy enemy to have.
Mhm.
And I think because we always beat them, that redounds to our credit.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I wouldn't in any way underestimate the French.
Right.
They're for most of England's history and indeed Britain's history, they were much richer, much more powerful, much more sophisticated. And so the pleasure of thrashing them
It's all looks sweeter.
becomes all the sweeter.
Yeah. They do have those desserts.
They
Those
do.
desserts are fantastic.
Yes.
And
we
I mean,
just have
show me,
kind of
you have some great, I mean, your
boiled
desserts are fine.
puddings is
No,
what
Yeah,
we
you
have.
have,
The French don't do a pudding, though, do they? They don't do a
No,
proper
we do
pudding.
puddings.
well, but I don't think they want to do a pudding.
They do a tart.
They're letting you have the
Yeah.
pudding
Ta-ta-ta.
because, quite
Ta-ta-ta.
frankly, no one really wants a pudding.
No, you're wrong about that. Ken.
I love
yeah.
a pudding.
Yeah, you got to have a pudding.
Okay.
Anyway, listen,
I
I
don't
think
have to have a pudding. And you may think this is a cul-de-sac we've gone down.
It
that
is.
This is a dead end. I say I'm going to go hard on this pudding thing. I
Right.
think you guys have disgraced yourself with your puddings.
Okay, wow.
And there we go.
This is
Wow.
punchy stuff.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, the French, of course, would agree with you.
Yes. Yeah.
But
That's the one. I jump
Yeah.
in with the French on that
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
You guys, you have your obsessions, and I love that. And you also have your heroes. Dominic, I know for you,
Mhm.
it might be Admiral Lord Nelson. Is he your
Yeah.
all-time favorite? Who's your all-time favorite? Because I want to get from both of you.
I think for both of us, Nelson.
Do you know I have a tendresse, to use a French word, for Richard Nixon. I like Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
I find him very entertaining.
He's fascinating. Well, my show here in the States began in September of 1993, and a reporter asked me, who would your favorite comedy guest be?
Right.
And I said Richard Nixon, because
Yeah, good
Richard
answer.
Nixon was still alive. He was the face of comedy for about a good 12 years in our country. All comedy, comedians were obsessed with him.
Mhm.
He was a very fun guy to have sport with. And I mean, he obsessed every comedy writer for a huge chunk of modern American history. So I wanted to talk to Richard Nixon. And then he passed away. I believe I started in September. I think he died in maybe March. And I thought, there goes my chance.
Do you know what AI? They can bring back some kind of Nixon avatar sweating aggressively at you. Yeah.
So we
Nixon does appear on this podcast many times. I morph into Nixon, even when he's not appropriate. And it's a very cartoonish, over the top.
we went to Disneyland and they've got an animatronic version. They've got a Lincoln and Disney.
Yep.
So I'd have thought that Nixon would be
An animatronic
Be
Nixon
next on the
brilliant,
list.
like kind of walking
Nixon
very stiffly.
himself was an animatronic. Nixon.
Yeah.
There may not have
Trousers.
ever
we,
been.
trousers
I mean,
a
we
bit
love
too
him
short.
as well. We're very keen on inappropriate footwear. people wearing the wrong shoes at the wrong time. And Nixon was brilliant at that because he wore
black shoes on the beach.
Black shoes on the beach.
Yeah, black shoes on the beach. Yeah,
and we like that in a president.
Admire that in a man.
Okay, as a little tidbit, and I'm going to brag here for a moment. One of Nixon's biographers who knew him is a woman named Monica Crowley, who's written a lot about Nixon in winter, late in his career. She told me that Nixon, at the very end of his life, was flipping around. He was interested in television. He liked to watch television. And I premiere, and he watched our first episode. And then she said that he liked it and told her, I like it. It's madcap.
Zany.
It's madcap. And I thought, I love that Nixon. Now, I want Monica Crowley to write that down so that it's part of the official record. But she told me that he watched it probably with his shoes on over his pajamas and watched it at 12:30 at night here in America and said, I like it. It's madcap.
Yeah, but he would say it without smiling, wouldn't he?
No, he would.
There'd be no flicker of amusement on his face.
So basically you had 6 months where you could have leveraged that.
Yeah.
I think, well, first of all, very quickly, critics turned on me, and Nixon's advisors probably would have said, well, no, his advisors were famously terrible. They would have said,
double down.
You should break into the DNC for no reason at all and pay the burglars out of your own pocket, and you should immediately go on Conan O'Brien's late night show. So Admiral Lord Nelson for both of you?
Yeah.
I think so.
You've got to throw in somebody ancient though, Tom, no?
No, because people in antiquity are terrifying and terrible. I mean, they're astonishing. I think almost without exception, yes.
Well, I think back then, your average person was grabbing someone who walked by their house and thrusting them over a large sharpened stick.
Yeah,
and impaling them.
There's quite a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
I think that they, the further back in time you go, the harder it is to relate to people because they are so different. And I think of someone like Alexander or Julius Caesar. They are terrifying because they move to kind of moral rhythms that are very, very strange and remote to us.
Yeah.
So I can't kind of love any of them or admire them. So I think it has to be kind of more recent because then you can understand them.
Well, my all-time favorite is Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, because he's the one figure that is more impressive the more I learn about him. The more I think he might be one of our greatest authors, also one of our greatest humanitarians, and an incredible statesman and funny.
And what's your take on his wife?
Yeah.
Because we had a disagreement about this.
We got into trouble. I got into trouble.
How did you get into trouble?
Saying she was a monster.
I don't think that's right.
I think
that's too simple. I think it's too simple to say she's a monster. I think she was unwell.
This is unbelievable.
Listen and learn.
I'm literally never coming on this show again.
Well, you weren't coming again anyway. You said that before we even started.
Yeah,
I'll do this once. My people tell me I have to do it.
Right, exactly. I didn't realize you were listening to that conversation.
Let's hear about why Mary Lincoln is not a monster. Dominic.
She is crucial, I think, to Lincoln's rise. She comes from a connected family. She's very ambitious on his behalf. My wife, who's also a massive fan of both you gentlemen, massive fan and regular listener, she did a great podcast called Significant Others, and she talked about Mary Lincoln and Abraham Lincoln and talked about the complexities of what's good about Mary Lincoln, but it's her podcast, and the research was that she did a lot for him. She was very ambitious on his behalf. In some ways, she was a good partner. She was highly flawed, but I think to dismiss her as a monster isn't fair.
Did she not, though, steal all the spoons in the White House when she left?
Who hasn't done that?
I've never done
I've
that.
been to the White House 3 times.
Did you steal the spoons?
How many did you steal?
I stole a flat screen television. I mean, I did spoons. I don't need a fucking spoon.
Mary Lincoln didn't do that.
Who needs a spoon? If you're going to go big, I say.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, but she stole something like 6,000 spoons or whatever.
Come on, get
Come on,
over
honestly.
it. And nothing,
Honestly.
Go on.
Yeah.
What did Margaret Thatcher take when she left power? I do have a question. This is a serious question that has confused me somewhat over time. I sometimes have a take on a British figure that's completely out of step with what British people think of that figure.
So like who?
Well, Margaret Thatcher's one, because I feel that you almost can't I've been in circles where you almost can't bring her up.
Oh yeah.
And she has been canceled. And I've seen books of great women in history, and Margaret Thatcher isn't even in there.
Yeah.
And she's this highly significant person. And I understand that there's complexities there, and there are things that she did. But interesting to me that she isn't held in more esteem.
Dominic has written a 7,000-page book on her.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Is absolutely the man to take this on.
Do you think, am I correct that I've been around Brits and I've said, what do you guys prefer? Brits, limeys? What do you like?
I think with
Englishmen.
Englishmen.
Oh, God.
Officers and gentlemen.
Okay. Admiral?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Just sir.
Lord Commander?
Just sir is fine.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Lord Admiral.
Your Highnesses, I have noticed that you have to have her as part of the conversation, and it's as if she didn't exist, and that doesn't feel right to me. Am I correct about that?
I think kind of liberal opinion, for want of a better word, or better phrase, still holds her in very low regard because she was a right of centre politician.
Yep.
A lot of people suffered under in the Thatcher government because of deindustrialization.
Yes.
She was a very, very strident and partisan politician. You know, you were one of hers or you were one of the opposition.
Yep.
And she drew the battle lines very clearly. So it's understandable why people hate her, right?
Yes.
I completely get that. I mean, I'm sure Tom would probably agree with me on this. She's an incredibly impressive person.
Yeah.
So if you look at photographs of her government, she's often in the room with 40 men. And she's the only woman.
Yeah.
And she's, made her own way. She's fought her way up the ladder. She's incredibly well prepared because she thinks she has to work harder than any man because she thinks she'll be dismissed at any moment. So she feels she has to become harder than hard to prove that she's not a soft and sensitive woman. All of which maybe makes her quite unlikable. I think she probably wouldn't have got on with us because she had very little sense of humor. And she was hard company, difficult company.
Yeah.
But she is certainly compared with Britain's recent prime ministers.
So that I think that there's a kind of kaleidoscopic quality to people's reputations in history. And I think the fact that, how long was she? 10 years? She was prime minister for 10 years?
11 years.
And
11
basically,
years.
we current prime ministers last about a week.
Yeah. They're like fruit flies. They have the same life expectancy.
Same intellect.
They're so terrible.
But they're nourished on the blood of others.
Yeah. they are so terrible that I think her reputation can only improve by comparison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the comparison between her and Liz Truss, Keir Starmer. Yeah. I mean, Rishi's not that bad,
names that no one listening will ever have heard of any of them.
Yeah. They just enter the front of Downing Street and they go out the back without breaking stride.
Yeah.
I'm also a big Churchophile. I really love Churchill, and I know that I've talked to British people who, he behaved poorly here, he behaved poorly there. There's a lot of it that maybe doesn't age well, and sometimes I am impatient. I think, oh my God, this was the perfect person at the perfect time with the perfect wit and the perfect eloquence. That alone should protect him. Am I wrong?
He got one massive thing right.
Yes.
And I think essentially that cancels everything he got wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you got to give him massive
credit.
And
when you say one massive thing right, just for anyone who's, people were trying to appease Hitler, and he said enough of this.
So he's right about that, but I think specifically, it's the moment when the Nazis are on the French coast. There's a serious prospect that the British government may open negotiations with Hitler.
Yep.
And had that happened, then the history of Europe and of the world would have been radically different.
Yes.
That it doesn't happen is massively down to Churchill.
Because of one man who said no.
Right. I mean, there's amazing...
It's a pinch point.
There's an amazing story about him addressing his MPs and saying to them, if this Long Island story of ours is to end, let it end only when we are choking in our own blood on the ground.
Yeah.
And that kind of stirring stuff. I mean, nobody says that outside movies. He says that, he galvanizes the English language, the English people.
I have a theory that, again, I'm just going to go with Brits because I don't know what else to say, that the British people are famously afraid of or wary of puffed up language, or I know it's certainly true of the Celts. The minute someone starts to say, everyone is going, oh, get over yourself. That all the rhetoric I love of Churchill's sometimes is slightly embarrassing.
Well, the thing is, he speaks like that from about the age of 4.
Yeah.
And it makes him a very comical figure. So what is it? At the age of 10?
Yeah, I know. He's at school.
I love him at 4 saying, anyone who will not give that toy and put it back in my pram will choke on their own blood.
But the thing is, he at the age of 10 or something, when he's at school, he's writing essays about how he is going to save Britain from foreign invasion.
Yeah.
And he, in a sense, his whole life has been preparation for 1940 when he
and the other thing,
he stands alone.
He got loads wrong. He made loads of terrible, terrible mistakes. And some of his, more intemperate statements don't stand up very well today to our scrutiny. But when you look at his life, he had an amazing life.
Oh my God, he is Zelig.
I mean,
the Woody Allen movie Zelig, where he's in every pivotal moment in
South
history.
Africa, and he escapes from a Boer prisoner of war camp. He's in Cuba when the Americans are fighting in Cuba. He's fighting in India.
He's hit by a cab in New York City in the 1930s.
These crazy.
He's everywhere.
This extraordinary life. Plus, he is such a likable personality. He's so ebullient.
Yeah.
He's such fun. He's a great laugh. If he was sitting next to you at dinner, you wouldn't get a word in edgeways.
Oh, I would.
But he'd be... but
you don't know who you're messing with.
Hey,
Winston! Who let this Irish idiot in here? When I visited, I have my frequent stops when I'm in London. Imperial War Museum, I always have to go. I witnessed an argument. This is in the late 80s. I was at the Imperial War Museum and I witnessed there was a British half-track there, and 2 old German men were saying, this was not the best design. And 2 British guys said, well, it was bloody well good enough, wasn't it? And they got into it, and I thought...
What was the accent that British person had?
I say, old chap! Dick Van Dyke taught me how to talk to you guys. Blimey! Hello, governor! I did that to Hugh Laurie's face once, and I think he struck me. But it's all a blur now.
We have an episode on Mary Poppins coming up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we do.
Terrific. Well, apologies.
Dick Van Dyke, he was taught his Cockney accent by an Irishman who'd been appointed by Walt Disney.
It was the ultimate act of the IRA.
It was the sabotage. Explains a lot.
Yeah. He has apologized many times. I had him on the show and I asked him about that, and he said, "I'm sorry. That's what I was taught. It's terrible."
But it wasn't his fault.
To his credit, he's Dick Van Dyke. He's a national treasure for us, and he apologized. But what were we talking about? I've drifted. Imperial War Museum.
Oh, yes.
And then Chartwell. I went to Chartwell,
that is great.
And I just, looking at the Chartwell's, the country estate that Churchill bought when he didn't have the money to buy it. And he was making, to his credit, earning his living, writing articles, and probably spending money he didn't have. But he bought Chartwell. And there are a few homes that tell you who the person is. Most of them have been redone. The person isn't really there. My 2 favorites are Chartwell and Teddy Roosevelt's house at Sagamore Hill on Oyster Bay.
Never been there.
Oh, you have to go because Teddy Roosevelt's there.
Right.
They didn't touch it. His wife kept it exactly the same. When she passed, it became a museum. Nothing's been changed. It's filled with stuffed heads and bombast and hyperactivity. And
they're quite similar, I think.
Yeah, they
Roosevelt
are. They're very similar.
Do you know who TR's hero was?
Kipling? Who?
Oliver Cromwell.
Oh, that's Oliver Cromwell, yes.
His hero, one of my heroes, actually, Conan, sorry.
Not so much of the British. Of the Irish. My grandmother lived with us growing up, and she had been born in 1890.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie Cromwell was on in her room. She was a room on the second
Richard
floor.
Harris film.
Richard Harris. And I'm crossing her room, and the door is slightly ajar. And just the flickering image, she's watching it, and it's a scene where the British are under Cromwell, or something's going on. I can't remember, but it was something about the Irish. And my grandmother's watching, and she just said, "The bastards."
Yeah. Well, we grew up on these children's books. They're called Ladybird books, and they were books about great lives. So there was Oliver Cromwell was one of them, and it has kind of famous summing up, and it says Oliver Cromwell brackets except in Ireland was a kindly man.
Which Conan O'Brien, except for to his staff and friends, was a kindly man.
Which I think sums up perhaps.
What was that take on Cromwell? He was robust in Ireland.
Yeah,
he was robust.
Robust, yeah.
Robust is a very useful word on the podcast.
But
he had sometimes pungent views.
Pungent and robust. They carry a lot of weight.
You know, the larger, to Google Earth out of this all, these little areas for a second, one of the things that sustains me, and I know that you have a lot of young listeners, which I love, because I think the role that history plays for me in my life, my knowledge of history and my enthusiasm for it, is it often reminds me that we've been here before, and that the history of mankind is a lot of things constantly going wrong, and you know, good people in the mix trying to right the ship. But I get a lot of satisfaction out of all the things that are happening today that are can seem so dire. And of course, unlike anyone that you're talking about in your podcast, we're being bombarded with bad news constantly through this new technology. A lot of young people just think, well, this is the end of the world. And I try and remind them,
oh, things have been worse.
Oh, no. And I keep telling them, do you think 1914 was great? How about 1861 in the States? I mean, even in our recent history, the 60s was a dreadful decade, 70s, 80s. I mean, it's hard to locate a time when we all didn't think. When I was at university, as you call it, when I was in college, we all thought Reagan is going to blow up the world. And this is the
late
end.
for the first two world wars. Early for the third.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there we go. Oh, there goes Moscow.
Oh, there goes Will. But I mean, and I'm just constantly reminded that we had a moment of optimism when the Berlin Wall fell, which quickly turned to cynicism, and then things seem to have just gotten much worse in Russia. And we see what's happening in the world. And I think, well, this is the way it's been. It's always been this way.
So I would say a couple of things. One is that people always behave badly. History keeps happening and people will continue doing bad things because human nature doesn't change. And yet, most people alive today live longer, healthier, more comfortable, warm, warmer as in shielded from cold, lives with more opportunities, more, the broader cultural horizons, all of that kind of thing. That's not to be complacent, but you'd rather be here than at any previous point in history.
And the other thing is dentistry, which is always mentioned.
And antibiotics.
My father was a microbiologist and studied antibiotics his entire life. Never went to the dentist, though. Face of just broken tombstones in his mouth.
British.
Like George Washington. He walked around with other people's teeth in his mouth.
That's right.
Paul from Washington.
That's right.
We knew he was a bad man, but that was confirmed.
Had to eat, what he ate because of his bad teeth? Can I tell you?
Go on.
He would have tripe. Tripe was all he would eat, which is cow's...
Really going down in our estimation, isn't he?
So cow's stomach mashed up and then boiled. And this man who might be the greatest American of all time, through his rotted jaw, would suck tripe into his mouth.
That makes me feel so happy.
The worst teeth. The worst teeth.
Won't you forgive us?
No. Ramesses the Great, the pharaoh, they found his mummy. And he'd lived to about 97. And they inspected his jaw. And because the sand, it's Egypt, so sand gets into the bread, 90 odd years of chewing on bread had worn down the teeth, had worn down the gums, had exposed the nerves. He was pharaoh. He was, one of the greatest figures of ancient history. Every minute would have been excruciating agony. There was nothing that he could do about that.
Nothing he could do.
So I just say that to cheer people up who may be depressed.
You think you're
doom scrolling?
Yeah, exactly. If you're depressed about what's happening right now in global warming, remember there's not sand in your bread.
Yeah, exactly. And there's been the world has been convulsed by terrible examples of climate change before.
Yeah.
Say the 6th century AD, possibly the worst year in human history. There's a kind of great climactic event. The world cools, the crops fail, there's plague, there's war, everything collapses. And I again offer that as a reassurance that things may seem bad now, but honestly, they have been so much worse.
Yeah, and I think I go back to that all the time. Is there's also this is not just a uniquely American thing, but it's very popular in our politics too. Can't we return to that golden old time? And as a not a historian like you gentlemen, as an amateur, I always say, tell me when that was.
Right, never existed.
Yeah. What is this golden time? And you know, they'll try and say things like, well, you know, in the 1890s, you know, the thing that's always recreated when someone opens an ice cream shop and people have arm garters and wax mustaches and people, and I think, no, that was no good.
Lynching.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I mean, exactly. It's there is no golden past. And I think that's one of the things that sustains me these days is I listen to your podcast and you tell these great stories, and I love the stories and I learn so much, but it informs how I live today. It informs how I read the news. It informs how I take what's coming. And I'm usually a little, I think, calmer. And I work with a lot of young people who are convinced. I remember during COVID, someone who was waiting on me in a restaurant telling me, she was very young, she was about 20, and she said she's very sad. And I said, why? And she said, I'll never see a concert again. Oh my gosh. I'll never see a live concert again because that's over now because of COVID. And I said, no. We were here in 1919. Yeah. We've been here a bunch of times before. These happen and they go away and we move on. You're going to see so many concerts and so many of them are going to be terrible.
Yeah. You'll be dreaming of lockdown.
Yeah. I have to ask you, I have not listened to your Rolling Stone podcasts, your Satanic Majesties podcast. Beatles or Stones? I just have to ask.
For me, Beatles 100%.
Yes.
Stones.
Okay. Well, I have to tell you, Dominic, you're wrong. You're wrong.
So wrong about
Mary Lincoln.
Mary Lincoln.
And wrong about the Stones. Look, I love them, an amazing 3-chord band, but
you're not a bit bored of the Beatles?
No.
A bit ubiquitous?
It's impossible. It's impossible. And look, is it their fault that their stuff is, you're penalizing them for their popularity?
Being too good.
Incredible. Yeah. Well, wrong again. And I should tell you, Mary Lincoln played with the Stones for a while. So you should really hate the Stones. Yeah.
She was one of Peter, Paul, and Mary, right?
Yeah, she was with Peter, Paul, and Mary, yes. Then she left, replaced Bill Wyman for a little while as bass player. Yeah. And then Mick got jealous. She was getting all the attention. That was, I have to ask you on a personal note, this thing is blown up. You started as a lark. You were having fun. Yeah. And now it's all this.
Yeah. Mental.
Are you enjoying, I mean, Tom Hanks is a huge fan. Will come on the podcast. I've not been invited. Listen, I understand my place in the hierarchy. I have a small cameo in Saving Private Ryan. I'm shot. I'm the 9th guy to be shot just coming right off the boat.
What would you like to talk about?
We'd pick a topic. You could pick a topic with me, and I would come to London. Where do you do it? Do you do it in London?
No, we can do it remotely. You don't have to move.
No. I want to be there in person. Or do you guys? Are you together when you do them?
No.
We hate each other.
No, God, I mean, that would be terrible.
Yeah. No, never. This is the first time we've been together for about 4 years.
Okay.
It's very unpleasant.
Well, I'd like to be with one of you live. So I would like to be at one of your, I'm imagining a grand estate. And I would like to be with one of you in person, and I would like to make the other jealous.
Maybe we could talk about why Mary Lincoln was a goodie, or why the Beatles are brilliant.
I could do the Beatles in a second.
Let's do it.
Let's do the Beatles.
I mean, I would happily join you guys anytime. This has been a thrill for me, and I got to talk about 1/70th of the things that I would love to talk to you about. But so it goes. We'll leave that for another time. If you're not listening to The Rest is History with Tom and Dominic, you're a fool. And you don't, and you know what? You don't even have to be a history buff. They're stories, and they're the best stories that ever were. And they're told by 2 great storytellers. And so The Rest is History. Please give it a listen. And thank you to both very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
absolute
us.
Joy.
Yeah, thank you.
We have something very important to discuss right now.
Is it important?
It's very important, Sona.
Okay.
And for you to even question me is an aberration. It's abhorrent to me. Recently, we had a discussion about singing popular songs on the podcast. Is that a copyright infringement? Do we have to then pay off these artists? Or are we allowed to sing a popular ditty? Do we have the freedom to do that? Mm-hmm.
And we realize there's one person we need to talk to.
Yep.
He is one of the loyal troops here in the Team Coco Army. He's a magnificent lawyer, despite never having practiced law or graduated from law school.
He's the Jose Arroyo of lawyers.
But no one pretends to be a lawyer better than David Melmed. And David, thank you very much for being here. And I also want to say, people really like David Melmed.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, I am.
We're all big fans.
You know, I'm a controversial figure here in the building, but you are universally very well liked.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And so, and I thank you. You do terrific work for us in your capacity as a fake lawyer. Yes. So, David, let's get into it. The question is, can I sing songs on the podcast? Can Sona sing songs on the podcast? And Matt Gourley, is he allowed to break out into a tune every now and then? What's the answer?
I'm going to give you a lawyer answer to that.
Okay.
The answer is maybe. The answer is maybe.
Maybe.
And
can you maybe?
I can't.
I would expect that.
Yes.
You're rotating in your chair a lot nervously, David.
Yes, I am.
Maybe I don't really want to know
Exactly.
how your garden grows.
That's actually, we could actually use that as an example right there.
Okay, great.
That's a perfect
This is
example,
timely,
right? Yes.
too,
That is
Which
very
song
timely.
was that? Because the way you were singing it was just awful. What
Yes.
song was
That's
it?
the Oasis song, Live Forever.
Oh, okay, got
Okay.
it. Terrific.
So that's a perfect example right there. Thank you.
Okay.
Gourley. I think there's a way to approach these. I think music is probably one of the most controversial sort of topics in all of clearance, right? I think music, particularly with you, Conan, your love of music and sort of the idea of music now in podcasts has become a hot, certainly topic within the legal community. And so now that we have an example, I think the first thing...
If you don't get more interesting faster, I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
It's that interesting.
Okay.
I mean, it's that simple.
It's
You
that
have
simple.
to...
Look at all these notes.
You have. I mean, look at
This is my notes.
You're not talking to the Supreme Court.
Yes, I am.
It's just us.
Yes, I am.
David.
He is the most
And,
professional person
yes.
in this room right now.
Yes.
I know, but that was just dreadful.
I know.
What?
He let the man talk.
I think...
I did.
Yes.
And it was awful.
Yes.
It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I'm sorry, David.
That's
continue.
okay.
And in
And
no
I'm used to
way,
this.
in no way,
I'm used to
way feel constrained by what I've said or intimidated.
I'm not.
As your employer, continue doing that awful thing you were just doing. Continue.
Exactly. This is okay. So there's a step approach to that. I think the first thing we ask is, what is the intended use of what you are trying to do? And I think why I ask that is a lot of times I hear samples and they're really terrible. I think when I actually ask the person, what do you want to use it for? They hear themselves say it and they say, you know what? We're good. We're actually not going to use that. Once we get to step 2, say, you know what? We want to do that. Then we get to, well, where do you want to use it? Where do you want to distribute it? And so in that case, I'm putting you on the spot, Gourley.
Yeah.
Where would you want to use that within?
Well, I think we're
podcast.
What I
talking about
just
this
sang?
podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
right
this
now,
is I think what we're all talking about is the same thing,
Yeah.
which is, okay, we're having that podcast, having a good time. Someone brings up Robert Palmer, and I go, modest. What's that? You said to me?
I didn't say
I thought you
anything.
just accused me of murder.
I didn't say a word.
Okay, I did not murder that. Okay, what am I doing?
I don't know.
go back to Robert Palmer.
Robert
Okay,
Palmer.
let's bring up Robert
Another
Palmer.
great example.
Let's bring up Robert Palmer. And we're talking, and someone brings up Robert Palmer, and Sona says, wait, which one is he? Because she's younger. And I go, might as well face it, you're addicted to, he's so fine, there's no telling where the money went. And what do now? It comes across your desk.
Yes, it
I don't
does.
think you have a desk. You
I
don't
do not.
merit
I sit
one
in the
yet.
corner.
But
Yes.
He
you,
does sit in the corner.
I just sit in the corner.
You do sit in the
I do
corner.
sit in the corner, yes.
Well, when
I-
you get a real law degree, you'll get a real desk.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
David,
Yes.
that's the example.
That's a great example.
They come to you and they say, Conan O'Brien, joined in by Matt Gourley, Robert Palmer song. We just did it. Do you cut it out or do you let us do it?
I say, again, maybe. I would say, let's try to get permission to do that. I think that is the goal here, is to say, do we need permission to do that? So that, again, is difficult thing because you could say, look, we need to release this episode next week. How are we supposed to go to the record label?
Yeah,
and
Robert Palmer's gone. He has tragically passed.
Yes, he has. And he has an estate that's very protective of his musical
and
work.
And then does someone get them a sample of us singing it and they listen to it?
We actually would provide the sample to them. So because you're recording this, right? We're recording this, and we bring it to them.
This is awful.
Okay, well,
again, I mean, this whole segment is a train.
I think it's fantastic. Actually, I think this is very helpful.
Agree.
I think this is fantastic. So we bring that sample to the record label and say, "Hey, look, Conan O'Brien, Matt Gourley, Sona would love to use this sample."
I'm okay. You could leave me out of
Okay,
it.
Please.
Conan O'Brien.
She is tone deaf.
Yes.
Yeah,
Would
you
like
don't
to
have
use
to
this
lump me in on the Robert
6-second
Palmer
sample.
one.
Yes. Now, here's my question.
Yes.
Would you say this promotes Robert Palmer's discography? This
Or disparages his entire
Well,
estate.
no,
Ding, 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 ding.
it doesn't. It makes you think, oh, I did love that song. I don't love the way they're doing it, but I do love that song, and I'd like to go out and immediately on Spotify get the complete Robert Palmer collection.
You would certainly use that argument in a negotiation for a fee, right?
This is ridiculous. I'm just, the thing is, I'm not a musician who's playing the song. I'm just saying, she's so fine, there's no telling where the money went. And then suddenly a highly paid pseudo lawyer,
Yes.
who's suspiciously tan all the time.
Yes.
I don't know how you are.
You
I
asked
come
me
in
that
in the middle of winter, and you've got the deepest bronze tan. Do you use a tanning light?
I do not. And
No,
you
he's
asked me
just
that.
natural. He's a handsome guy.
You are incredibly handsome.
Thank you. Well, you asked me that 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you did. No, you
Guess
put-
what? It's the last time we spoke.
That is true. Until today.
Yeah.
Conan, you came to my corner.
Yep.
And you said, "Do you tan?
Yeah.
Do you tan? I would love that tan."
Yeah.
You said, and I said, "I don't. I actually get outside. I have a, sort of glowing."
You have an incredible glow.
Thank you.
What do you attribute that to? Is it your lineage?
Are
Is
you
it your-
pregnant?
How is this
I'm not-
pertinent to the
Well, this is
song?
important.
Can we do this?
Okay.
This is
We're
important.
getting to it in a
Sorry.
second.
This is important.
What are you, a lawyer?
Go ahead.
What was your
Sorry.
question? Sorry.
So
Yes.
we'll
My-
get
my
back
good-
to the more
Oh, this
important
is so
thing.
important.
But
Yes.
David, explain this golden hue you have.
I think genetics.
Yeah.
I think I have parents in their 80s that look like they're in their 60s. So that's the first.
But what is your genetic makeup? I know that's probably an incorrect question to ask these days.
Yeah,
But
you
that
can't.
is
what are
it.
your genetics? I must know.
I would
You're
say
asking the
there
lawyer.
is probably a sort of Middle Eastern,
beautiful.
beautiful
Absolutely-
skin,
absolutely
olive.
gorgeous.
Yes.
But you're forgetting that he has these beautiful eyes too.
The
Also,
hazel
can I say
eyes.
something
What
else?
is
He has
happening?
This is great.
you have salt and pepper hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is to die for. I mean, I'm walking around with this clown dessert on my head, and I look at you, and I'm like, he may not be a real lawyer. He may be the only thing we could afford.
Yes.
But gotta do him in a Mississippi
Yeah.
second.
What?
Wow.
He's your
Thank
lawyer.
you.
He is your lawyer.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
great.
All
Well,
I'm saying is you can't ask about genetics and you can't say, I want to do you to the lawyer.
well,
we
listen.
You're
are
being
actually out of
filmed.
time. I'm glad we covered all the legal questions to the music.
I'm just going to say one thing. He's so fine. There's no telling where the money went. Listen, so back to the initial point of this whole thing,
Yes.
which is you're very good looking.
Thank you.
Wait, that wasn't it. Back to the real point, David, which is you're saying that anytime we hum any ditty, you have to get on the phone and try to buy the rights from some monsters?
Can I add?
Yeah.
Last, Conan, you argued that if you hummed, the worse you hummed it, the more rights we would have, right?
Yes.
Like if you were off with your with the melody or the tone, then we would be able to use it.
I would say, for example, famously litigious
Mhm.
Led Zeppelin.
Mhm.
No one gets to do Led Zeppelin stuff. But if I sing it and it's wrong, but everyone knows what I'm doing, do we still have to pay?
You could.
You'd have to get the lyrics and the melody wrong, though, right?
Oh, I could do
Well.
the whole thing.
Now,
There's a lady who knows.
sure.
That's it.
That's
Those speakers
Okay.
are Bose.
oh, boy.
And
You're
she's trying.
I
Staircase.
To Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Oh.
Now,
Sure.
would I have to pay for that? No way.
well, I wouldn't say no way.
Why? You'd say
Because-
maybe.
I would say maybe, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. If you were I'll tell you why.
Ask the questions, but you don't want to hear the answer.
I don't think you want to hear what the answer. I'm
ahead,
saying in the most conservative way, yes. Now there are different exceptions. You can, for example, I think the fair use word, de minimis use, is used a ton, but you've already committed the Copyright Act, right? So when I have talked to you, Sona, about this plenty of times, where, and I think I'm going to use Jeff Ross's name. He loves the word de minimis. It's just a little bit of use that a court would never say, we're not going to litigate this. Go ahead and use it. Conan O'Brien, he can do 2-3 seconds of that song. No, we're not going to even go there. Now,
de minimis.
Why does Jeff love de minimis? I haven't heard de minimis since the Latin teacher saw me without my pants on.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's exactly what Jeff said.
Pretty good, huh, Sona? Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
That is what he said.
It's not the Maximus.
A quick question. Should we do a two-parter and continue to? Okay.
Yes, we should do a two-parter.
Because we're out of time.
Okay, we are sitting here with he says he's a lawyer. We've seen no paperwork. David Melmed, impossibly good-looking and beloved here on staff.
Very sweet. Thank you.
Stay tuned for part 2.